Everybody, it's Abby. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Today I'm going to do my budget debt payoff update for January 2019. I almost forgot what month it was because last video I was talking about how I thought it was February for a long time because January dragged on. So if you haven't seen any of these videos before, basically what I'm doing is paying off my debt and showing you how that's working with the debt snowball method. And then I put in my vision board, I can't think of what it was called, my brain is fried today, that I want to pay off at least 5,000 of my debt, which actually at the end of last update, I had officially went under the 10,000 mark, so I have 5,000 to go this year. Hopefully I can make it work. I'm expecting tax returns, and I'll be gone for work in March, and that'll be a significant amount of overtime hours, so I will have quite a bit pretty soon to put toward that, so hopefully I can get a head start for the year. So just a quick rundown of how I started this if you didn't watch the last video. If you did or didn't watch the intro, and then if you did, you can skip ahead a little bit. But basically how I did this was I started using a budget app several months before I started this. I used the app called YNAB, You Need a Budget. I think it's just youneedabudget.com, I'm pretty sure. And then I'll have a link. I think I have a referral link too, but I could be wrong. And then I used that. You can use Mint too, I think is another good budgeting one. Basically just one that will keep track of what you've done and what your progress is as far as like your budgeting and how much you spend in each category and all that stuff. So I used that for a few months, and then I made my budget based on that because you do not want to sell yourself short. You need to know exactly how much that you normally spend on like gas and groceries and other stuff. And you can see where you can cut back because, I really can't cut back on gas or groceries. I don't eat out that much. I actually haven't eaten, I didn't mention this in my no-buy video, but I only ate out once last month. I'm pretty proud of myself, and I only went grocery shopping like maybe twice. So what I did was I used that information to make a budget, and then I took all of that was left over after I kind of averaged my last few paychecks just to get an idea in case there's like fluctuations where I get more or less hours. If you're on salary, you don't have to worry about that. But I took that, and then I took the extra that I had each month and then figured out how much that I could put towards paying off my debt. So I ended up having a few extra hundred, I think 400. It's changed around a little bit because I've had to make some changes. Yeah, I had about $400 extra each month to put towards my debt. I took that, and then I figured out, I looked at each debt account that I had. So I have 2 credit cards and then a student loan, and I figured out which one I need to start paying on first. So according to the debt snowball, you need to pay off the lowest amount of debt first, which in my case it's a little bit difficult because I do have one of the credit cards is a really low balance and has interest on it, but my interest payments are not that much. I mean, yeah, you shouldn't be paying interest anyways if you pay off the credit card on time each month and pay it all off. But my second credit card has a much higher balance and does not accrue interest yet. It's going to start accruing interest in April or May. So I have decided to shift from paying off the lowest amount to the impending doom of interest that I'll accrue because of that card. So later this month, I'm going to look into balance transfers and trying to get yet a third credit card, which I know pains me, but in order to avoid paying $1,500 in interest, I will do that. So basically that's what I did, and then I also I went a little bit crazy with the numbers, and I used online. You can search like credit card payoff calculator or loan payoff calculator, and you put in your balance and your interest, and then it'll let you pick, like, if it'll let you say, I want to pay this off in X number of months, or I want to pay this much per month. How long is it going to take me to pay it off? And I did that and figured out how long it would take me to pay each one off, and then added all that together, which I've been able to pay more some months, less some months, so it's not going to be exactly on target. Then I've had to switch gears with the cards, so on to last month, or this past month. So I have a monthly tracking sheet on my notebook here. And I have lines for each, I have a line for each month, and I have columns for each account, and then for my savings that so I have credit card number 1, credit card 2, my loan, how much I paid on all those, and then my savings, how much I've added to my savings, and then what my total debt balance is at the end of that month, and then I have my total savings balance at the end of that month, and then I figured out my net growth for the month as well. So that's a combination of how much I paid off in the credit card and how much I put in savings. Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like that was a little more concise of an explanation than I usually give. And then at the end of December, I did a year-end totals. So this month, I paid $70 toward my credit card number 1 because I flip-flopped from paying that extra money on that credit card and put it on the second. So on the second credit card, I paid $460. So how I did that, also another tip is to figure out, if you get paid like bi-weekly or weekly or whatever, figure out what bills that you have to pay each paycheck, not just each month, so you'll be prepared ahead of time to know, like, you won't run short or like be over, you know what I mean? So based on that calculation of what I have to pay each paycheck, I couldn't afford to outright pay the whole total of $460 in one paycheck or another, so I split it up, and you're allowed to do that. You can make one payment every day if you wanted to on your credit card. The credit card company doesn't care, they just want the money by the due date. So I paid half on one paycheck and half on another paycheck, and it worked out for me. But if it works out for you to pay it all at once, that's fine. And then on my student loan, I paid $75, which also on my student loan, I have that synced with this program at my bank that will round up your purchases and then put that money aside and put it toward your student loan. So I probably paid more than $75 last month, but that's all that I count because it's what I did. So and then in my savings, I was able to add $514.38, which was amazing. Had a little bit of overtime last paycheck because it's inventory season, so I'm happy that I was able to add that much to my savings. So as of now, my total debt balance is $9,415.79. So I'm staying well below the $10,000. And then my savings balance is $1,983. $1,983.85. So my goal is to save $5,000 so I can buy a house. So I'm not really on track, but I'm getting there because of these bigger additions to my savings. So my net growth for the month was $1,085.44. So this is the first time my net growth has ever been over $1,000, because in December it was the highest at $861. So I'm pretty proud of that my net growth is way higher than normal, because the first few months it was like 200, 400, 300. So yeah, there is the totals for the month, and then I keep a little just mini journal on the next page. I put like a few sentences each month just to kind of remember where I was at. So last month I wrote, total debt officially under 10K, need to explore options for balance transfer before interest accrues. And then January 19, the first month of net growth greater than $1,000 thanks to a little overtime, patiently awaiting my tax return to help with savings goals, and then also looking forward to March, lots and lots of overtime. So hopefully I will be able to hit my savings goal pretty soon with all of those things in mind. And also, one thing that I talked about a few times is, I'm not trying to like be some kind of way about this, but I will need to buy a new camera, which is not cheap. So I'll do that like after all of that overtime is expected, like at the end of March. So hopefully that'll help. I don't know how I'm gonna figure that out, but I can write it off as a business expense, but I need to have the money to pay for it in the first place, and I really do not want to put it on my credit card. Yeah, I think that's about it for this month. So let me know if you are paying off your debt too if you're doing the debt snowball or if you've already done it. I know quite a few people have already told me that they have done the debt snowball, or they're like in the middle of it, or whatever they're trying to save up. And I'll link below to my money playlist where I have a few videos about like tips on how to save money. My most recent one was how to save money if you work in retail, so definitely check that out. A lot of people really like that video. And yeah, I'm trying to think of what else I should tell you. I guess that's it. Stay tuned for next month's update, and also watch my no buy videos. I talk about how I'm not buying any unnecessary makeup, skincare, hair care, clothing, home stuff, all that for the entire year. So I'll leave that playlist below also, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.